Hello and welcome back to 4FS Gaming. Every monster in Hunt Showdown has a weakness, and in this guide we will go over the most efficient methods of eliminating the different AI in the game, and also which ways are the most silent. Now before we begin, remember that everything from a grunt dying to swinging a melee attack makes noise, so the best way to get past AI is not to get close enough to trigger their aggro range, and if you don't mind going loud, most of these tips are going to not apply to you because all of the AI die really quickly when you start shooting them. So with those disclaimers out of the way, let's start with the infected. Currently there is only one category of infected AI, and these are the Grunts. Grunts die with a single heavy melee to the head from most melee weapons and attachments. The butt of your gun will take 2 hits, and sometimes larger weapons need only a single light attack. You can also shoot them with just about anything and they will die straight away when hitting the upper head or the chest. Grunts either carry nothing and swipe at you with their hands, or they will have burning torches that set you on fire, or cleavers which apply bleed. Prioritize these armed grunts when engaging a group. There's not too much else to say here, other than if you do get overwhelmed and out of stamina, closing a door or vaulting over a small fence is enough to stop the grunts from swarming over you. Now the next category of AI are marked. This distinction is important because in the full release, some weapons and challenges require you to kill certain categories of AI. The marked include Hives, Meatheads, Armeds, and Immolators. Hives can be easily killed with a melee attack to the head with most melee weapons including the knife, but non-specialized tools or hits to the body may mean that you have to whack a hive multiple times. By the way, that's her head there, not the nest thing sticking out of the chest. Of course, you may not want to get that close because the hive will release a swarm of poisonous and rapidly damaging bugs when she is alerted to you. Now these can be scared off with a number of melee attacks into that swarm, but they will instantly dissipate if the hive is killed. You can also outrun the swarm. Throwing knives, lanterns and flare guns are great against hives because you don't need to get close, and probably poisoned in order to kill them. Let's move on to Armeds, who are very tough enemies if you try and shoot at them. To melee attacks though, they go down quite quickly. A knife takes 3 hits, dusters take 5 or 6, and bayonets will clean them up in 2. The Armeds do hit you rather hard though if they do land an attack, dealing almost 50 HP with each swing, but even light attacks with a knife will stagger them backwards, and therefore prevent you from taking damage. Fire works wonders against Armeds as well, and a lantern or flare gun is a really efficient method of removing them from your path. Now for the Immolator. Although these guys look small, they actually have a fair bit of health, and a much wider aggro range than the other AI. They are very perceptive. They can run fast, they can burst through doors, and if they're hit with anything other than blunt damage, they will explode, dealing damage and then continue to attack you while on fire, probably setting you on fire as well. The best way to deal with Immolators is to bash them with your gun until they go down. You can stagger them while doing this so that you never get a hit on you. Of course, if you have dusters or any other blunt melee attachment, this speeds up the process considerably and it'll cost you less stamina. In fact, the prevalence of Immolators across both maps means that in recent times, the dusters are slowly becoming more popular than the knife for a lot of players. If you do trigger an Immolator by breaking its skin, it'll burn itself out by itself in about 30 seconds or so. Be aware if you are farming for kills on Immolators, this won't count as a kill if it dies by itself after you igniting it. Now the final marked enemy is the Meathead. In full release, this guy is tankier than he has been in the past, and although you can throw lanterns and then move in with an axe to finish him off, it's still a risky proposition. Meatheads are better off being avoided completely, as they will be noisy and time consuming to take down unless you are packing multiple crossbows or other specialized silence weaponry across your team. Oh, and the leeches are faster now too, so watch out for them. If you do need to get a clue out from under a meathead, you are almost always better off baiting it away from the clue than trying to kill it and remove it completely. This goes without saying, however, that if you are happy to go loud, filling it with bullets takes it down pretty quickly, just like everything else. If you do choose to kill a meathead, aim for the leechy wound in the upper chest. This is the critical damage area. The third category of AI is the packs. First we have Hellhounds. These travel in packs of 2 or 4. They have a wide detection radius, they run fast, but they do deal low damage with a bleed effect. Hitting them with the heavy attack of a knife will kill them, same for throwing knives or shots to the head from almost all weapons at close range, but they are tanky enough that at medium to long range, compact ammo will no longer kill on a headshot. Some Hellhounds even have face masks that prevent headshots completely, so aim for the body in these cases. When engaging in melee with a knife, which is my recommended method of dealing with them, time your strikes to land just as they are about to lunge at you, which should kill the hound as well as prevent you from being hit. Finally, we have water devils. These are obstacles meant to prevent you from crossing some areas of water. They are noisy when triggered and can deal high damage plus bleed if you are stuck out in the water with them. It is almost always easier to cross the water elsewhere when you see these infestations. However, if you do need to cross, crouching can prevent them from detecting you if you are far enough away. And 2 throwing knives as per 1.0 will take them out, as will shooting them only a few times. Be aware that your window of opportunity to cross after killing a water devil is very small, as they respawn in the same area after only 10 seconds or so. Our final category is the bosses themselves. Hunt Showdown at launch is going to have 3 of them: the Butcher, the Spider, and the Assassin. Now these all could deserve videos on their own to discuss tactics, but I'll go over the basics here. The Butcher deals high damage rapidly and will set you on fire. He himself is immune to fire. Like the other bosses, he will often move too quickly for explosives to be useful on him. However, he is vulnerable to poison attacks, strong melee attacks, and barrages of bullets. The noisy strategy to take him out is to empty your magazine into him no matter what weapon it is, run away while reloading, and then rinse and repeat. You can always head outside if you run out of sprint stamina, or if he hits you and sets you on fire. Look out for the spots of fire that he leaves around on the boss lair floor as he frenzies so you don't stand on them. If you want to be quiet but still very efficient, you should use an axe on the Butcher. You can pick them up from around the map. If you and your partner both have them and keep using heavy attacks, the Butcher should go down within a few seconds, as you can both just banish and recover any lost health afterwards. If you really need to, take a break, go outside, get your stamina back, and then come back with those axes to finish him off. Do be aware though that as he dies, the Butcher will do one final swing with his hook, so stand back. Oh, and if you do choose to shoot the Butcher, the open wound on his upper chest is his weak spot. Now for the Spider. After many rounds of changes, the Spider still fights roughly the same. It will come up to pounce on you, doing a screech beforehand. This is your chance to set it on fire with a lantern, shoot it with guns, or hit it with strong melee attacks. If you are using melee against the Spider, then use a weapon with reach and try and stand in areas of the compound with low roofs, because sometimes it can try and jump on you from out of your melee range. When damaged, the Spider will run around frenzied for 15 seconds or so, taking reduced damage in this time. It will try and stab you with its fangs, which will deal moderate damage and poison you, so stay away from this. The Spider may also use a poison cloud spit attack. Stay out of the green mist floating in the air and you shall be fine. Just keep hitting it with whatever weapon you're using and it should go down without too much trouble. Remember that the Spider's weak spot is its face and mouth area. The final boss, the much newer Assassin, is very similar to the Spider in mechanics. It will rear up, turning into humanoid form before an attack, giving you a chance to interrupt it. When you do, it'll create 3 clones that chase you around and explode into swarms of bugs that obscure your vision. They do small amounts of damage, but most importantly, they prevent you from stunning the Assassin again while the bugs are all over you. Remember, if you have bugs on your screen, you can't interrupt the Assassin's next attack until they're gone. You can of course just damage the clones to dissipate them, or run away until they all just despawn themselves. The Assassin's attacks involve shooting bone spurs and applying bleeding this way from a distance, or it can hit you with its melee attack for higher damage and still dealing bleed, but either way you can interrupt first with your own damage. Fire works really well against the Assassin, and the sledgehammer will do more damage than the axe if you're going for a melee kill. If you're shooting, aim for that weak spot. It's the gaping hole in the center of his chest. And that there is every AI that you can fight so far in Hunt Showdown. Well, technically horses and dog kennels are also there, but you get the idea. Please like this video if you found it useful, consider subscribing to see future guides when they come out, and connect with us on our community Discord server, which is linked in the description below. Also in the description is our Patreon link for those that would like to give us some extra support. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.